going on, YouTube? Back again with the Glacier, the little square body 1/18 scale truck. There's links below. Amazon, if you're looking for these, they have some other ones. So we did the unboxing video. I drove it here recently and it's pretty cool, but I got some stuff for it today. So I made a trip down to my local Hobbytown USA in Lewisville, Texas. It's now Wild Bill's Hobbytown, which is kind of cool. The Wild Bill's Hobby Shop is kind of a big deal around the DFW metro area for a long time, and somebody that owns the Hobbytown, a lot of the Hobbytown franchises around the Metroplex, they bought the Wild Bill's and they've kind of converted it and made this conglomerate. So trying to support local hobby shops. I picked up some tires and wheels for this today. I just went down there to check it out. It's been a while since I've been, and I've got RC4wd drive. These are 1-inch stamped steel beadlocks, and then we also have Mudslingers 1.0, because what square body Chevy is not complete without some swamper looking tires on it. But before we put those on, I have another thing we're going to take a look at here. I picked up the Arizona, which is the ezRC Jeep version of this. It's basically the same chassis. It just has a 4-door Wrangler body, and we're going to take a look at that real quick. I didn't even know when I put that video up right before Thanksgiving that those were going to be on sale for Black Friday, and yeah, it worked out pretty good. I picked one of those Jeeps up for like $90 shipped, so it was a really good time. You know, I guess they run sales like that periodically, but I'm impressed and disappointed at the same time. So the body, the pictures didn't really do it justice. I didn't even know it was a JL Wrangler. I've got a Gladiator in real life, and it's pretty cool. It's a very nice looking body. It does not have an interior like the Chevy truck does, but it does have tinted windows to try and hide it. But I mean, it's a very detailed body. It's got the Rubicon type hood scoops. It's got the fender marker lights on the front. Tail lights look legit. It could use a little detail here and there, but it's the casting itself is actually really nice looking. And the chassis is, the drivetrain's all the same. The axles are the same as the Glacier pickup. The chassis is shorter. The rails are unique to the body. They actually fit together pretty well. In real life, I think a long bed Chevy square body would be about 3 feet longer than a 4-door Wrangler, so it goes together pretty nicely. I didn't get a battery, so I'm sitting here digging through the packaging. I've got the little charger and a wheel wrench, and with the Glacier truck, the battery was under the hood when I opened it, and there's nothing in here. So it says on the box clearly that it, and even I had a warning from Amazon where I bought it. It says lithium battery. So I got hosed for a battery. Oh, China. But nonetheless, at least I have a battery that will work with it. The one from the other truck. So let's take a closer look at this thing. So here's a look underneath. It does have a black inner fender / floorboard plate sealing off the interior from the exterior so you don't get mud all inside your windows. The Chevy, if you remember, it's not blacked out, which it needs to be. Not a big deal though. The shocks are different on the rear of the Jeep. They are more straight up and down. The ones on the truck are very laid back in the rear to keep the bed floor down low and looking scale. Other than that, everything is pretty much the same except the wheelbase. See, the 4-link on the truck is moved very far back, and the long drive shaft, the Jeep 4-link, is mounted up here off the crossmember. And yeah, different wheels. These tires say Terraz, I don't know. Not a brand I've heard of. Cool looking tread though. It's cool the trucks are Cooper, something we've heard of here in the States. Under the hood of the Jeep, not nearly as much space as the truck has. The truck would allow you to run a much larger battery. Has the same little cubby in the back. It's all the same electronics. It's got the same servo. Slightly different layout because the Jeep is smaller. It does have the shocks mounted up higher in the body, and it actually feels pretty good. It's got a scale JL looking bumper. Looks just like the one on my Jeep. They are not oil filled. I suggested that they might be in the Glacier video, but they do feel good, but they're not. They're just strictly friction. But I don't have a battery for it. Same electronics, same everything. Got the same on-off switch situation going on. And I'll plug a battery in, see if mine still has a charge on it. I'm not going to run this one in this video since this is about the other truck, but we do have marker lights and headlights. I looked inside the body just in case maybe the battery had fallen down inside of there, and I don't see it anywhere. There's nothing loose other than the hood. So, pretty sure I got shorted a battery. That good quality control. I want to mention the radio controllers are color coordinated. The same thing as we had on the other truck, just yellow to match the Jeep, blue to match the blue truck. Kind of cool. I mean, it's not a bad radio. It's at least you have proportional steering. I'm not going to battery this up or anything right now because, yeah, we're going to move on to the truck and getting these RC 4-wheel drive tires and wheels mounted. These are actual bead locks. Again, these are the RC 4-wheel drive part number Z-W0111 stamped steel 1-inch bead locks, white. And I'm thinking we might be able to reverse these and give us a little more offset on the truck. Now, a lot of people were concerned about that in the video, how far the tires tuck under. I'm not sure how it'll look. We have to take them all apart anyway, so we'll take a look at that. And the tires are part number Z-T0199 Mudslingers, which were bigger. They had a actual TSL 1-inch tire, but they weren't much bigger than the stock tire. And these were quite a bit taller, and it just, screamed Squarebody at me, so let's get to work on that. Alright, so these little wheels are a hoot. They actually are going together easier than a lot of the 1/10 scale bead locks do. But these wagon wheels, I've always run into the issue. You got 5 and 6 lug. Obviously, this truck in real life would be an 8 lug, being a 4-wheel drive. Well, are they? Yeah. Because, I don't know. Maybe it's 6 lug. But you've got a couple holes that are perfectly aligned with the bottom of the triangles. And you just line those up when you put the halves together. And that's the easiest way I've found to get them to start. Still not easy. But it's going together pretty good. I am doing them in reverse. See this first one here. So we've got a lot of offset. Don't know how that's going to interact with the fenders. Obviously we're going to have to lift this truck, so we'll see that when we get there. Alright guys, that was a ton of work for not a whole lot of result. So, I had to give it a suspension lift. It still needs a little tuning. I think, I looked at some stuff today when I was at the hobby shop. They had a bunch of like hot racing suspension links and things for the SEX24. I think some of that might work on this. These plastic links are very flexible and very crap. And the shocks are very crap. They had some shock sets that were like 30 bucks. The suspension link set was like 30 or 40. But I'm digging the way this looks. I had to change out a bunch of hardware. Stuff wasn't long enough. Had to add spacers. Lift the steering. We still don't have... That's as far left as we have. We've got a little more right. It's very limited. I'm not really sure. There's not a whole lot of adjustment on here. I think a Reef's Micro 99 would make a world of difference. But the offset is fantastic. The ride height is fantastic. The look of the wheel and tire is freaking awesome. And I'm digging it. It still seems to drive just fine, other than the steering. But I did have to cut some coils off of the leaf springs. I cut about 2 off the front and about 4 off of the rear, because the rear really changed its location a whole lot. Yeah, it was a lot of work to do this. The rear is still a little too stiff because there's not any weight over it. Really digging it though. I mean, it looks like a 8-inch lift on a long bed with 37s maybe. It looks pretty legit. Those little tires and wheels were epic, more affordable than the 1/10 stuff. They went together easier than the 1/10 stuff, which I was pleasantly surprised by. And man, it just looks the part. I'm digging this little truck. Battery's not fully charged right now, but it did some climbing. And you can see here the height difference in these. It's probably 1/2 inch compared to the stock ones. And with the offset, I did have to lift it just to be able to flex. It still will rub the front a little bit, but the front's still a little too stiff. But, man, it looks awesome. So alright guys, that's going to wrap this video up. Appreciate y'all watching. And, yeah. See if I can get a battery from ezRC for the other rig. And, yeah, I'm going to maybe get some more parts for this thing and see what else we can do with it. But it's pretty cool for what it is. It's pretty affordable and, you know, cheap RC. Usually not good RC, but we haven't broken it yet. I did have one issue. The tool that comes with the RC4wd drive wheels to put on the wheel nuts does not fit the wheel nuts on the ezRC rig. That is, I guess, for SEX10 20 or SEX24. Sorry. I had to take my, what is this, 5x60 and file down the edge of it to get it in there, and they're still not seated all the way into the nylon, which is kind of bad, which means they probably would back off. I need to work on it a little bit more, get a little bit finer, and hopefully I can get them tightened down a little bit more. But so far they haven't come off, but we'll see how it works out over time. But definitely want to upgrade suspension links, probably a servo at this point, and maybe steering links and stuff like that. So I need to take this with me next time I go down to the hobby town and see what SEX24 parts will interchange. They had a whole bunch of the hot racing stuff in stock, and you know, that's not something you'll find a whole lot of here in the States. So be good to get my hands on it and see what will actually work and what won't with this, so I can relay the information to you. But I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. Keep it scale, no matter what that scale is: 1/10, 1/18, 1/24. And I will see y'all in the next one.